Hey folks, Dave Ceruolo, real estate, probate, and elder law attorney. In this video, we're going to talk about trusts and three major concepts that you need to understand whenever you're considering a trust. Make sure that if you watch my videos, you like them, to hit the subscribe button below. Stay tuned. So what's a trust? Well, folks, a trust is a legal relationship that's created by an individual or individuals called a donor, and the donor will appoint a manager of the trust called a trustee, and it will be for the benefit of usually their children or loved ones or friends, and those folks would be called the beneficiaries. Now, why do people create trusts? Well, people create trusts sometimes to avoid probate. What happens if they die, and any assets that are contained inside that trust will go to their beneficiaries with no judge necessary. Other reasons why people want to address estate tax issues. People might want to plan for Medicaid for the 5-year look-back period. Or there might be a group of people involved in a piece of real estate, and so they'll create a realty trust so that it's easily manageable. So people do create, it's like people creating another entity to do something specific. Dave Ceruolo, CeruoloLaw.com. So what's a nominee trust or a realty trust? Well, folks, a nominee trust is a flexible trust, as I usually say to people when they ask. And with a nominee trust, what's going to happen is the trustee cannot act unless the trustee is directed by the beneficiaries to act. And so with a nominee trust, why do people create these types of trusts? Well, partly for ease of management, if there's a lot of people involved with a piece of real estate. The other part would be confidentiality. So what gets recorded at the Registry of Deeds in Massachusetts is an actual certificate, and the beneficiaries do not need to be listed on that certificate. So there's some confidentiality there. And then the third reason is there's just transfers that can happen within the trust that don't need to be recorded at the Registry of Deeds. For instance, if you change some of the terms of the trust or the schedule of beneficiaries. So that's the reason why people use nominee trust. They're flexible tools, as we say. Dave Ceruolo, CeruoloLaw.com. So what's an irrevocable or irrevocable trust? Well, as I mentioned before, folks, a trust is a written document created by a maker or a donor or grantor. They're all the same person in order to place an asset, money, or real estate into the trust to be managed by a trustee for the benefit of beneficiaries. Now, an irrevocable trust is a document that's very firm in nature. It's inflexible. It's not easily changed. When a donor puts money or an asset into this type of a trust, it can no longer be taken out. And so what happens at that point is it's no longer part of the grantor or the donor's estate. So it reduces that person's estate down the line. Now, why do people create irrevocable trusts as opposed to nominee trusts? Well, an irrevocable trust, once again, avoids probate. People make these trusts so that they can plan for estate taxes down the line. And they also make these trusts to plan for Medicaid down the line. Dave Ceruolo, CeruoloLaw.com.